Mississippi's Gulf Coast offers a diverse lineup of fun-filled activities for sun-seekers, tourists, stargazers, and gamblers alike. Home to charm-filled towns, casino resorts, and the world's longest man-made beach, the Mississippi coast is nestled between New Orleans, Louisiana, and Mobile, Alabama. We'll spend time in Bay St. Louis, Gulfport, Biloxi, and Ocean Springs, and visit the state's aquarium, several museums and historic sites, the Stennis Space Center, and see the sunset from Deer Island and other spectacular spots along Mississippi's Gulf Coast. I'll show you some hotels worth considering and some eateries you might not find on your own. First up, where to stay. I'm not much of a gambler, but I do like the positives that come with casinos, like nice hotels, great restaurants, and star-studded entertainment. For me, a room at the Beau Rivage, an MGM resort, or at the neighboring Hard Rock Casino often fits the bill. But this time, I stayed nearby at Hotel Legends, a Hollywood-themed property that gets stellar reviews and costs less than the Hard Rock or the Beau. It's in easy walking distance of both casinos and downtown restaurants, and it's connected to the casino side of Highway 90 by an elevated walkway. Rooms here are mini apartments with kitchen space, living area, and massive bathrooms. The old Hollywood theme is carried out to perfection. The beautiful, dark swimming pool features dancing fountains and Rat Pack music from Hollywood's golden age. Another plus here, no parking garage or long walk to your room through a smoky casino. 3 other hotels offer similar nostalgic vibes. A bit to the west sits the White House. This historic hotel, originally opened in 1895, was brought back to life 10 years ago, blending old Biloxi charm with modern design. Farther west, down Highway 90 in Gulfport, is Centennial Plaza, a historic site that's home to 2 hotels, the family-friendly Oasis Resort and Grand Centennial, a luxury hotel. Guests at both properties enjoy a rather large water playground that includes a 950-foot lazy river and a zero-entry swimming pool. Completed in 1917, Centennial Plaza was built for the state's centennial celebration, but the onset of World War I meant that never happened. Instead, it became a naval training station and later a VA hospital. The large campus has the feel of a bygone era, like a 1940s military base, updated with dancing fountains and a water wonderland. These hotels offer reasonable rates and are great options if you want to avoid traditional hotel chains or casino stays. They sit next to the world's longest man-made beach. And the iconic focal point of that beach is the Biloxi Lighthouse, which stands smack dab in the middle of divided Highway 90. North of the lighthouse is the Biloxi Visitor Center. Loaded with displays that tell the story of Mississippi's coast, this is a visitor center you really should visit. It's a great first stop and place to plan your stay in this seaside city. A statue of astronaut Fred Hayes, a crew member of the ill-fated Apollo 13 mission, holds the most prominent position his hometown could offer. The fighter pilot and space pioneer looks toward the famed lighthouse from atop the base of a Saturn V rocket. A crosswalk adorned with an Apollo 13 patch logo and cosmic background leads to a beachside plaque that commemorates the Biloxi natives' role in the mission that brought the world to a standstill. Now, I'll show you some other things you can see and do outside of casinos, boat tours, an amusement park, museums, and the aquarium. There are links to all the places I mention in the description. A great way to start or end your day on the coast is on Deer Island. Easily reachable from Biloxi's Gulfside casinos, this 4-mile-long barrier island offers beauty and isolation, just a quick boat ride away from the visitor-filled hotspots along the coast. Biloxi Boat Tours provides a variety of tours and pontoon boat rentals from Point Cadet Marina next to the Golden Nugget Casino. During the day, they offer a pontoon ferry service to Deer Island, as well as sunset cruises to the island in late afternoon. I did both, spending a morning exploring about a mile of the island, soaking in its waters, and seeking much-needed shade under my solitary umbrella. And returning the next afternoon for a spectacular sunset. I really enjoyed my time on the island, and the 20-minute journey from Point Cadet to Deer Island, across from the Beau Rivage, was filled with friendly conversation, history, and trivia about the island. My only regret is that I didn't take this sunset cruise every night. Just down the beach in Gulfport is the Mississippi Aquarium, home to 200 kinds of animals and 50 native plants. As you'd expect, the stars of the show are the dolphins. Make sure to catch the daily noontime dolphin training presentation. On the lower level, you'll see the dolphins underwater, and on the top deck, you'll see them above the water and in the air. Migrate to the nearby aviary to see how birds do lunch and learn how these feathered friends live protected from predators in this Gulfside home. The aquarium's massive tank is home to a huge variety of fish and other aquatic life. On the top floor, you can pet and feed stingrays. As you descend through the building, you'll walk through a transparent tube that passes through a tank teeming with life. On your way to the ground floor, you'll follow a walkway that spirals around a transparent vertical column filled with fish. Once on the ground, you'll see the huge size of the huge habitat you've made your way through and around. The aquarium allows visitors to explore and understand Mississippi's diverse aquatic environments, the Mississippi River, its lakes and wetlands, and its Gulf Coast waters. You can save a chunk of money here by ignoring the parking signs that lead to the city's multi-level garage. Instead, park for free across Highway 90 at Jones Park at the port. A curvy, sloped, pedestrian bridge makes the walk over the highway to the aquarium a quick and easy breeze. While at the port, there is a must-do for avid beachgoers, the Ship Island Ferry. This 1-hour, 11-mile journey to Ship Island, a pristine barrier island that's home to Fort Massachusetts, offers sandy beaches, high surf, and clear waters. In summertime, lifeguards are there too. With a snack bar and chair and umbrella rentals, it's the perfect way to spend a coastal day. The Mississippi Sound's shallow Gulf floor is filled with fresh water runoff from the Mississippi and other rivers. That makes most of the water here, along the Mississippi coast, darker than you'd expect at a Gulf Shore beach. You can easily compensate for that with a day or two 11 miles offshore at Ship Island. Next to the port is the Island View Casino Resort. It's Gulfport's popular entry in the large casino resort category. Casinos can be found up and down the coast, in Biloxi's Back Bay, and beyond. The Paradise Pier sits next to the Margaritaville Casino Resort, with thrilling rides and elevated views of the Mississippi Sound from the biggest pier on the Gulf Coast. This is the cleanest amusement park I've ever been to. The draw for me was the Biloxi Tide Turner. I had to see a Mississippi sunset from this 180-foot tall observation wheel. And I was more than pleasantly surprised to find that the gondolas are very well air-conditioned. The pier is loaded with rides. One that demands attention is the Rolling Thunder, a roller coaster that maximizes its small size in diabolical ways to keep you off balance and upside down. Nearby, the Treehouse Twirl puts a new spin on the old swing ride. You can bob up and down, mimicking a buoy in the open water aboard the Buoy Blaster. Or strap in as you plunge up and down and swirl all around like you're in the depths of the ocean on the Storm Surge. On the coast, it's always a good time for a meal, and casinos serve up plenty of options. Eating at the Hard Rock Cafe is a tradition for me, bringing back memories of my youthful pursuit of Hard Rock t-shirts from around the world. The Hard Rock has several other restaurants inside and outside of the casino, for those not on a nostalgia tour. Next door, at the Beau Rivage, the pricey Sunday night buffet left me longing for yesteryear, when the quality and selection of the food was, as I remember, much better. Salt and Ivy, a restaurant accessible from the lobby, served up a much more enjoyable late-night meal. On the backside of the casino, the Beau has several high-end restaurants that are worth checking out. Start your morning off with a donut from the Tato Nut Shop in Ocean Springs. Established in 1960, this bakery uses potato flour to make its tasty treats. The shop is a popular attraction in this artsy, live oak-filled, beachside, retirement hotspot, and tourist destination. Voted a top 10 Best Coastal Small Town by USA Today in 2022. It's home to several art galleries, shops, restaurants, bars, and the Walter Anderson Museum of Art. Its beachfront features palm trees, a yacht club, a city park, and a large covered pier with views of Deer Island and the Biloxi Bay Bridge. Back in Biloxi, 2 museums are worth a visit. Near the base of the Biloxi Bay Bridge is the Maritime and Seafood Industry Museum. Here you can learn about the role shrimping, oystering, and recreational fishing has played in coastal development. The building is filled with boats and historic photographs that tell the story of this seafaring community's rich history. Just to the east, along Highway 90, is the Ohr-o'Keefe Museum of Art. It's dedicated to the ceramics of George Ohr, the self-proclaimed Mad Potter of Biloxi. The museum showcases his work and other visiting artists. The 5-building museum campus was designed by famed architect Frank Gehry. From the observation tower, you can see how he implemented his design to dance with the ancient live oak trees. Here on this 4-acre site, each building is touched by one of these beautiful giants. Now a few more places to eat. 20 minutes from Biloxi, via the I-10, is Killer Crab and Seafood in Gaucher. It's an order-from-the-counter eatery with a diverse menu and tax-included pricing that keeps locals and visitors in the know coming back for more. I had the Royal Reds and got a crab sandwich to go. It's a bit of a drive, but you can't go wrong eating where locals eat. Back on Biloxi Beach, I had the signature meal at the Reef, one of several multi-level restaurants that sit on the beach. The whole fried flounder comes with a side, in my case, a heaping helping of red potatoes. Just across the walkway from Hotel Legends and next to the Hard Rock Garage is McElroy's Harbor House. This seafood restaurant, destroyed by Hurricane Katrina, was rebuilt to survive a similar-sized storm surge. Its 29-foot height provides a sky view of Deer Island and the Mississippi Sound. My endless search for the great roast beef po' boy of my youth brought me to Adventure's Pub and Spirits in downtown Biloxi. It's a pub with boisterous drinking and smoking around the bar. And although the po' boy didn't end my roast beef quest, it did make me forget I was on one. There are several other popular restaurants downtown. West of Gulfport and east of Bay St. Louis, in the charm-filled town of Pass Christian, sits Sea Level, an award-winning eatery known for its burgers and tacos. Since it has no steering wheel, I hesitate to call it a food truck, but that's the experience you'll have. Situated in a large lot next to Memorial Harbor Park, Sea Level offers great views and a great hamburger. Its extensive menu includes tacos, chicken, hot dogs, and more. Order online for quickest service. Just over the bridge is the seaside town of Bay St. Louis. It's named one of the coolest small towns in America by Budget Travel and recognized as a top 10 small beach town by Coastal Living magazine. Restaurants, bars, art galleries, unique stores, beautiful homes, beaches, and a protected harbor are a few of the reasons visitors flock to this charm-filled town. About a 30-minute drive west of Bay St. Louis on Highway 90 is the Stennis Space Center. Its visitor center, the Infinity Science Center, is at the intersection of Highway 90 and Interstate 10. From the eastbound lanes of the I-10, the New Orleans to Mississippi route, it's impossible to miss the massive Apollo 19 Saturn V first-stage rocket booster lying on its side next to the equally large Infinity Science Center. Walking around this massive feat of engineering, reading the multiple display boards that describe in detail how it was designed and how it worked, is more than worth the cost of admission. But it's not the only scene stealer here. Right next to it is a lunar module and countdown clock. On the other end of the building are 2 rocket engines and a tsunami buoy. Inside the expansive building is an Apollo 4 command module, a full-size International Space Station module, a wall of mission patches, and another tribute to Apollo 13 astronaut and Biloxi native Fred Hayes. The Saturn V rocket engines that propelled that mission toward the moon were tested here at NASA's largest rocket testing facility, the John C. Stennis Space Center. For the U.S. to get to space, it had to go through Stennis. There's a small display on the back wall that focuses on that history, but the Space Center is as critical today as it has ever been, as it tests the Artemis engines that will return Americans to the moon. My one infinity critique is that Stennis's role in spaceflight should greet you at the front door and follow you through the building. The Infinity Science Center has lots of interactive exhibits that focus on NASA, space exploration, and the environment. A good bit of it is geared toward kids, but there's not an aging geek on the planet who wouldn't stop here. So, there you have it, my take on the beautiful, adventure-filled Mississippi Gulf Coast. If you like this guide, subscribe to my channel Newsocracy for more like it, including guides that focus on Tahiti, Hawaii, Sydney, New Zealand, London, Majorca, and more. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Jim Albritton.